Hello friends, this is the greatest. Hope you guys are doing great. In today's video we will going to talk about the 10 biggest cities in the world, but before we start please like this video, subscribe our channel and click on the bell icon for daily videos. More than half of the world's population, 55%, lives in cities. By 2050, that figure is predicted to jump to 68%, according to the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs. As the world continues to urbanize, a handful of countries will account for much of the growth. Between 2018 and 2050, the UN estimates 35% of urbanization will occur in India, China and Nigeria alone. Today about 4.2 billion people live in cities, with North America, Latin America and the Caribbean making up the most urbanized regions of the world and Africa remaining the most rural. Number 1, Tokyo, Japan. Believe it or not, the largest city in the world actually saw a population drop of 0.11% from 2019. That trend is expected to continue and to increase through 2035, so that 16 years from now, Tokyo will house almost 1.5 million fewer people than it does today. Needless to say, this is the kind of population trend that would benefit the rest of the cities on this list. Number 2. Delhi, India. Delhi, India's capital and the center of its government, is second in population and takes the lead in the most polluted cities in the world. It packs over 11,000 people into each of its 1,484 square kilometers. And it's growing faster than almost any place else on Earth. In 2001 alone, reports World Population Review, its population increased by 215,000 due to natural growth and 285,000 through migration. Its numbers increased this year by 3.03% over 2019, but it's still on track to hit a population of over 43 million by 2035. Number 3. Shanghai, China. Shanghai is the largest city proper in the world, and one of the fastest developing for 20 years, seeing double-digit growth nearly every year since 1992, with the exception of the global recession of 2008-2009, says World Population Review. And it's still growing, even though the pace of that growth is slowing. Experts predict its greater metropolitan regions will hit 50 million residents by 2050. Number 4. Karachi, Pakistan. 1/5 of Pakistan's urban population resides in Pakistan's once capital megacity, according to a report by the World Bank. While the number of its residents has soared up 2.2% since 2019, its quality of life has been plummeting, with violent crime, inequality, and financial instability all contributing to developmental challenges. Karachi is also one of the world's densest cities. Number 5. Sao Paulo, Brazil. The most populous city in the Americas, with over 11 million people living in the city itself, is a sophisticated, ethnically diverse world cultural center that is also, oddly, according to Forbes, home to 26 billionaires. It's also a city of immigrants. 81% of students said they were descendants of foreign immigrants. Number 6. Mexico City, Mexico. An economic powerhouse, Mexico City is also one of the most populous and densest in the world. In fact, 20% of the entire population of Mexico lives in Mexico City. Surges in growth have meant that the city has had a hard time keeping up with necessary services for its residents, like housing, but there is hope on that front. The population only grew by 0.5% from 2019 to 2020. Number 7. Dhaka, Bangladesh. Business Insider called Dhaka the most crowded city in the world in 2018, and it's only grown since then. With over 23,000 people per square kilometer and an incredible 2,000 people per day moving into Bangladesh's capital city. The reason for the influx, pure and simple desperation, as climate change exasperated natural disasters wreak havoc on their hometowns and villages. Not surprisingly then, 1/4 of Bangladeshis live below the poverty line, with an estimated 3 million people living in the slums of Dhaka alone. Number 8. Cairo, Egypt. Egypt's capital city has been settled at least since the 4th century due to its important location on the Nile River. After plagues in the Middle Ages and city-destroying riots in the 1950s, it's since been growing at a rapid pace. Even its core city population is staggeringly high, 12 million as tallied by World Population Review. Number 9. Beijing, China. China's second-largest municipality has almost as many residents as the entire country of Australia, and the population has not only been rising at a steady clip since 1975, it's projected to keep on rising all the way through 2035, according to the UN World Urbanization Prospects Report. One of the serious downsides to such a large population in an urban area, Beijing has some of the worst air for breathing. Number 10. Mumbai, India. India's second-largest metropolitan area has its largest in-city population, with over 13 million at last official census count in 2011. Its trains alone carry 6 million people a day, a figure that puts almost every other busy city to shame. Mumbai's population has surged in the past 20 years, and has in fact doubled since 1991, as migrants from rural areas move to town looking for work. The practical realities of this flux are grim, reports World Population Review. 41% of residents in Mumbai and its surrounding regions live in slums.